Hail everyone, this is the Southern Heathen. I am back with another video. You can find me on Discord as the Clueless Heathen. I'm going to try to figure out how to put the link down below for my Discord. And I go to the name Clueless Heathen because I always feel like I don't know everything about heathenism. And one of the things that I did, which is the basis for this video, is that I attempted to go back into the Hellenic community, which is more, which has a lot more like written evidence and written this and written that. And after about a couple months, I was like, I'm just going to forget about it. Me and Hellenism do not get along, and while I commend people for speaking out against people that are trying to dictate who can be a Hellenist and who cannot be, I've gotten the impression that most of them are lost causes, and I'm just giving up on them entirely. I can do better than what I'm doing now. So one of the things that I'm very proud of that I have never done in my entire life is looking at someone's practice and saying, oh, that person is not this and that person is not that, and all that type of stuff. And groups out there that are very big on who is part of the community and who is not. Sorry about that. If you notice me sniffing my hands, that is because I use jewelry cleaner, and I'm kind of hoping that the smell is not permanent, or that the smell does not exist on my hands, but that stuff still looks good. Yeah, jewelry cleaner is very, very harsh. But anyways, now that you know why I'm doing this, we can move on. So, one of the things that I had, noticed years ago, when I was a itty little baby heathen, was this desire to dictate who was a heathen, who wasn't, even though the person that you were saying wasn't a heathen was actually a heathen. That makes sense. And it's kind of this weird thing that just seems to float around in the modern pagan community. If it isn't Wicca, it's other forms of paganism. So I don't do my heathenism the same as, say, your big groups. And that's fine. But when you have people that say, well, you're not really a heathen because you're not part of an organization, or you're not really a heathen because you're not part of a kindred, or you're not really a heathen, blah, 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 blah. It kind of makes me look at them like, okay, why are you dictating who is a heathen, who is not a heathen? In Hellenism, it's the same thing. They will say, if you put New Age woo-woo into your practice, you're not practicing Hellenism, you're practicing something else. No, you are practicing. No, they are practicing Hellenism. Their Hellenism might not be how you do it, but they are practicing Hellenics. just because I'm not part of the kindred, I mean, in all honesty, I have not found people here in Louisville that isn't that is interested in heathenism, um, and enough of them to actually form a kindred. Also because of COVID, and I'm not even going to go into that. But anyways, so you have, you have these, these things. And you have these groups that are like, well, if you're not doing this and this and this and this and this, you're not a heathen. Or if you're not doing this, this and this and this, you're not a real Wiccan. Or if you're not doing this, this and this, you're not a real whatever. And I draw this kind of like this disdain for that. With, it's like this. It's like you wear Thor's hammer, you worship the gods, you worship your ancestors, you worship this, you worship that, you're a heathen. And, I very rarely go out there and pour offerings to land rights, and mainly that's because either I am so busy with what I'm doing as my business, or I'm too dead tired to actually do it. Tomorrow, I'm definitely going to make a point to pour out an offering to the land rights, and definitely to the house rights, because of how important they are. But that is, I think, one of the huge, issues and problems that have permeated, especially your groups that practice or profess to practice a ethnic religion. If you're mixing this with Wicca, you're not this. And they do it. They do it every single time. And people will go, and it isn't just groups that do it. I was watching Wolf the Red, and the person that he was talking to was like, when they're trying to distance themselves from racist heathens, they're like, oh, they're not heathen because they're racist. And actually they are heathen. And they were doing this whole thing of, Christians distancing themselves from these really violent forms of Christianity. Oh, they're not Christian because they're not doing, they're not, inclusive, or they're not whatever. And they are Christian. And you can't separate of the person or the people from your religion, because as long as they believe in Jesus, as long as they're going to church, as long as they're reading their Bible, as long as they're doing this and that, they're a Christian. So that is, I think, the problem in all these communities is, oh, this and this is going on, and this person's doing this and everything. And I shake my head. I do. It's stupid. But yeah. But we really need to say, okay, look, they are heathen, or they are Hellenists, or they're whatever, and let's just say they're not the kind of heathen that we want to be associated with, but we acknowledge that they do, in fact, have the right to call themselves a heathen, and we leave it at that. And we don't say, oh, they're not this because they're doing this. I've never understood the need or desire to say these person are not heathens, or this person's not a Hellenist, or this person's not a Kemetic, or this person's not a Wiccan, that this person's not a shaman or this no, I don't. But you know, that's one of the problems that we face as heathens, practicing a religion that has little to no, that doesn't have a lot of written record. And you know, we understand that the Norse did not have a concept of race. We understand that they had sex with all different kinds of people. We know this, and we can't ignore that fact. But yeah, so I just kind of want to get on here and talk about that because it was a topic I was watching on on Wolf the Red's channel. Another thing, I finally found out an update on that statue. I think I did a video about that. It's actually in a conservation place, being, what do they want to do to it? And they don't know when it's being reinstalled. So if you guys are wondering where Leif Erikson's statue is, it's still gone. So I'm going to leave it at that. I hope you guys enjoy the video. Until next time, bye.